Good morning, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. Boz returns this week with me for the Monday review, and we are going to have a little chat about another win.
Positive chat.
Yes, something probably that I don't think we saw coming, to be honest.
Very honest. We both predicted a 3-1 loss, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. I predicted 3-1. I know you said you didn't see us getting anything if it was 3-1 as well. I couldn't see us scoring enough, and I couldn't see us keeping them out enough at the back, to be quite fair. So fair play to all of them. AD's first away win, 2 out of 3 since Zesh Raymond has come in. So obviously he's made something of a difference. Yeah, very, very positive. Just have a quick look. We've got firstly Sunday's Football League paper. Pressure easing as Gills start climbing. That's obviously their report on the game. A little bit there about Bradley Dack, star man again. We'll come back to him later on. And then the Monday edition of the Medway Messenger runs on the back page. A little aside of caution, we've done nothing yet. Gills boss issues warning after away win. We have a look inside, obviously. General match report, scoreline was all that mattered. I think that's what we said. It didn't matter how it came, did it, to be honest? The referee can score the winner for all we care at the moment. We just need points. There's some good shots. Zesh Raymond celebrating, which is great to see. That one there, Boz, that's now 2 games in a row where we've had people that want to get in the face of other people. I think there's a picture of Raymond as well doing it as well, I think. So, Swindon. So, got no issue with that unless they're crossing the line and then costing us by getting sent off. I've got no issue with players getting in the faces of opponents and protecting each other. We've not seen enough of it. AD Pennock says, we can just get it here, bear with me 2 seconds. Pennock, 3 points, massive. Again, obviously we know that, and again it comes back to the bit about not having to worry how they come. It was just getting them. And outstanding, that'll be the last main point I think from the newspaper just there, if you can see. AD Pennock talking about young Mitchell Dickinson's league debut. Obviously come on after about 40 minutes for Ryan Jackson, and AD has described it as the performance of a seasoned pro, which is great to see. I know, I think it was Zesh tweeted after the game Saturday, didn't he, Boston? Yeah. Something about well done on Mitchell's debut and helping us to 3 points. Said he was talking to him the whole game, but he said it was like playing alongside a centre half that had been there for a long time, which is great to see. Aside from that, obviously we didn't go to the game, so we can't comment on individual performances as we weren't there. Obviously Twitter we followed and the radio, and it seemed that Stuart Nelson was first class again, and it's great to see. Obviously we go back to the beginning of the season where he was
scumful. Oh.
Yeah, and we'll talk about them shortly. But yeah, he had a shocker at the start of the season. I think he's the first to admit that. He's big enough and ugly enough to admit that he wasn't playing well, and obviously that's why we brought in Jonathan Bond. He saw him off. Obviously we've now got Tomasz Holly. He's not getting a look in because Stuart Nelson's playing so well, which is great.
Star man this week in the paper as well.
Yeah, he's got 8 out of 10. He's made some cracking saves. I know there was one in the second half that hit the post, and you look at the replay, and I think Nelson's got fingers on it, but he's made 2 or 3, and we've rode our luck a little bit, which you have to do in away games.
A few occasions with people chucking their bodies on the line. And
yeah, there was talk of like Raymond and Amar a couple of times chucking their body in front of it, which is great to see. And it seems even from our first goal, we've sort of dug in defensively, and I think it looks at the highlights like Mark Burns played a great ball out. And it's found Lee Martin, and he's done great to hold it up for Dacky, who's then bashed it in the bottom corner. So, very, very positive. Talking of Bradley Dack and Cody McDonald, he who is past it, according to some Gillingham fans who obviously have more wisdom than me and you, and AD Pennock perhaps. I think it's great to see them two back to their best, isn't it? I mean, there's talk of Cody, obviously hadn't scored since December up until last week, but he's got, since now Southend, he's played 3 games. I think he was involved. He won the penalty at home to Southend, crossed for Josh Wright to score the winner, scored at Swindon, scored Saturday. So that's
He does
effectively
go on his little runs. So
2 goals and 2 assists in 3 appearances now, and that's not even playing in his favourite position, I don't think.
No,
He's sort of,
a couple of them was him pulling back to the byline as well, so it's not even...
yeah, and he's had to play that number 10 role in Bradley Dack's absence, so that's great to see. And then obviously Bradley Dack was back at the weekend after injury, so that's now in his last 2 games, which is Bury and Wimbledon. 2 man of the match performances and 2 goals and an assist, I think. Scored against Wimbledon.
Scored against Bury.
And it was his corner for Cody's header. So we need them. We need everyone, obviously. We're still in it. We're still only 6 points away, but it's a lot better than it looked before Saturday. And we need Dacky, Cody firing all cylinders and being fully fit for the remaining 10 cup finals, as AD likes to call them. But yeah, a little more positive now. I mean, I said after commentary, if we lost, we'd gone. But then I didn't expect us to beat Southend or Bury. So now we've suddenly given ourselves a great chance again.
I said to you after Southend on Saturday, that'll mean nothing if we don't follow it up. And
no, of course. And we went to Swindon and we was pants again, yeah. But then, trust, it's Gillingham, and it's what we do. It's what we do.
It's never going to be an easy ride.
It's sort of in conjunction with what AD's reign is. He seems to keep beating the teams and nicking points off the teams that he's not meant to, and then we struggle against the teams that are in and around us or not playing well. But yeah, all in all, a very, very decent 3 points. So as we've already mentioned, obviously we mentioned Scunthorpe earlier in the season, the game where Stuart Nelson had an absolute horror show. In terms of now the reverse fixture coming up, Boz, and then Bolton the following Tuesday. 2 home games obviously represents a chance to pick up more points. We've looked at the form table, and Scunthorpe are currently 3rd bottom over the last 6 games. They've drawn 3 and lost 3, and they've only scored 3 goals. For you, what would represent a good week in terms of Saturday and Tuesday, starting with Scunthorpe first?
I think Scunthorpe are going to come and stick 10 men behind the ball. I think they'll come for a point.
Plan the break.
If we can, yeah. I think they'll just leave Josh Morris up top, I think. Just lump the ball to him.
That's the thing, they've got good players, haven't they? I mean, Josh Morris... who's the other lad? Is it Van Veen as well?
Oh, he scored a great goal against us at their place.
Yeah, the Stuart Nelson one. So they've got ability everywhere, but it's obviously we know about when you're on a bad run and struggling and down the bottom in terms of performances and results, then you don't get the luck and the rub of the green. And I think they had a perfectly good goal ruled out at home to Fleetwood on Saturday. I think they had 1-0, which would have got them level, and then obviously they lost the game late on 2-0. I suppose it all depends really on, in regards to Tuesday and Bolton, bearing in mind, obviously both games, we've conceded 9 in the away fixtures. So the old cliche would be first goal could be massive because our heads could drop if we concede early in either of them. But I suppose looking at Bolton, it all depends on what happens Saturday.
I think it'll be 2 different games. I think Scunthorpe will sit, and I think Bolton will come out.
Oh no, I get that, but what I mean is in terms of results. So like, if we lose to Scunthorpe, then suddenly there's massive pressure on Bolton again, and then we'd have to go and get on the front foot, and then we might leave ourselves open. But if you can pinch a point or pinch 3 points at home to Scunthorpe,
you get 3 points against Scunthorpe. Anything against Bolton's a bonus.
Then Bolton's a free swing. So what we're saying, if we can get 3 points over the 2 or 3 points over the 2 games, we take that. So either 2 draws or 1 win and 1 defeat, we take that, and then we go Rochdale, Peterborough the rest of the month. So what are we saying? 6 points from the month would be satisfactory. That'd take us to 48, wouldn't it? And again, that'd be against what you'd say are 4 relatively good sides. In terms of as bad as Scunthorpe have been,
in terms of league position,
they're 3rd in the table. Bolton are in the playoffs. Rochdale involved in an absolute humdinger at the weekend against the league leaders. I think up until a few weeks ago they was in the playoffs as well, and then Peterborough's never easy. They've got good footballers, good youngsters, but
Madison's a very good player.
We said before we come on air though, they're one of them teams. They're almost but they go on a run and win like 3 or 4 on the bounce, and then they'll go and lose 4 or 5 on the bounce, and it all sort of like negates everything that they've done really well. But they've got some good players. So we're saying 6 points would represent a decent month from these 4
anything
games.
more than 6 and, you know...
Well, it'd be 9, sorry, so it's 9 from the month because we've already picked up 4, isn't it? Yeah, so 9 points from 5 games. Cool, yeah, that'd be decent, 9 from 15 points. Yeah, I'll take that all day long, I'll take that. And he's taken 7 from his last 12, AD, so it's slowly starting to turn, and obviously we have to... People, whether they agree he's the right man long term or whatever, we've got to stick with it and support him, and he's doing all right at the moment. So, right, I'm going to let Boz talk now, and I'm going to take a bit of a back seat. 2 words then, Boz, and then I'm just going to let you pay tribute to him. Obviously, the news came out last week regarding his retirement. Adam Barrett.
Adam Barrett, well, John Egan aside, probably one of the best free transfers we've had in recent history. We knew all about him at the time. He came in from, I want to say Bournemouth, but he'd had a couple of spells at Southend, captain into promotion. He come in and he was playing alongside, I think, Andy Frampton at the start. He was 2 old heads, people weren't so sure, but we didn't concede a lot of goals. Very, very old school defender. What we're crying out for now. Get it, move it clear. Yeah. Very, very good talker. You could hear him all over the pitch. At times, I think Callum Davies was playing alongside him. He was quite young and inexperienced at the time, and he coached him through the game.
Didn't Dacky break in that season as well? I know Dacky tweeted last week and paid a really nice tribute to him and just said all the best, Skip, for like future or whatever it was. But
very good in the air. When he had, I think you said the stats was like 18 clean sheets in.
I think I read last week that season in the league it was 46 games, and obviously I think we kept 18 clean sheets. So you're looking at 1 in 2.5, 1 in 3.
Which, now, Christ.
Which is we won the title on it. Let's be honest. So it's. I think they say goals win you games, clean sheets win you championships.
It was one of them seasons where you remember every player, but he was outrageous all season. He come in, he wasn't the youngest, but the bloke ran himself into the ground.
What is he now? He's 37 now, isn't he? So
I think he said 2012 when he signed.
So summer of 20, so say 5 years. So he'd have been in early 30s when he joined, but like you say, obviously I didn't go so much that season, unfortunately, because of work and stuff. Obviously, you was there.
I think it was almost a brand new back four that season. I think because Matt Fish came in, and that was his first regular season. I think he had Frampton alongside him until about January when Legg come in.
Yeah, Leggy come in halfway through.
And I want to say Joe Martin was a left back. I think that'd be right.
I think so. Yeah.
No, Barrett got some important goals that season. He did have one outrageous miss, if I remember right, on the goal line.
Yeah, that got shown
Absolutely
last week. Actually, he was practically in the net. That was reminiscent of Glash at Crawley a couple of seasons ago. But all in all, I think Boz has summed it up perfectly. Warrior, leader.
I never thought in my lifetime I'd see Gills win the league and Barrett lifted the trophy. He's a massive part of that season. Fair play to him.
So your best season as a Gills fan?
Oh, 100%. Never thought I'd see that.
So, I mean, obviously I'll go back a bit for mine, and it was sort of 99, 2000, and that culminated at Wembley and stuff like that. But again, in terms of what you said regarding the centre halves, proper out-and-out defenders.
It's what we hoped Raymond is. We've seen the
Barry Ashby and Ady Pennant, Guy Butters at the time. You had Chris Oak then came in when we got in the Championship. Proper warriors who just knew their job, and then let the more fancy Dans or whatever you want to call them
we're not in a league
win
of
your football matches.
David Luiz's, are we? So we need.
No, and I think the game's changed slightly since obviously like Adam Barrett started playing the game. I mean, he'd have probably been a youngster even when the players that I'm talking about were in their pomp or whatever. So yeah, he'd have had a good grounding in terms of, I think centre backs were centre backs back then, weren't they? Rather than it's now changed to like this. Everyone's got to be like sort of a Rio Ferdinand type who can play, and you've got people like John Stones coming through now, and it works maybe in the Premier League or at the top end in European football and English game, but not where we are. It's
the league we're in now. Most weeks you're playing against experienced strikers, and you start doing that, and they're just going to get the ball off you and bang, it's over.
Yeah,
punished.
So no, all the best, Adam Barrett, league winning captain 2012-2013. Anyway, that's about all from us this morning. As always, thanks for all the support. Thanks for the likes, the subscribes, the retweets, the shares, the positive comments. It's brilliant. We both appreciate it. I mean, we're over 100 subscribers now, mate. It's a bit crazy, really, in 3.5 weeks. So again, I'll reiterate, you lot obviously enjoy or tolerate us two rambling on. But as always, until next time, up the Gills.